My goodness, we are in the pressure cooker this week. We are sandwiched between two eclipses. We just had that full moon eclipse on Sunday the 7th. This is the astrology for September 8th through the 14th. I want to start by giving us overall themes to the week, what areas of life are really being hit by the astrology, what parts of self also archetypally are being really hit by this astrology. So first, themes, areas of life, and archetypes. And then I want to dive into day by day, Monday through Sunday, the 8th through the 14th. All right, let's do this. Some themes, areas of life that are really being hit. Areas of life that are really being hit are, what is your soul purpose in life? This is the nodes of fate being lit up in an eclipse season. Being that this is a week where we are between a full moon eclipse, that was on the 7th, and a new moon eclipse, that's on the 21st. It is a real 2-week window of reorganizing, reorienting, and realigning with your truest true north. Your truest true north. Eclipses act a little bit like this. Feel for this. This is really good to reflect back 6 months ago. So every 6 months, it's an eclipse season. This is kind of what happens in eclipse seasons is an eclipse season happens and it's like a momentary pause in time. You know, it's like people will talk about eclipses as like time warps. It's like it's a time warp. So eclipse happens and we're in this like time warp, like a pause in time, pause on your timeline. And it'll go, okay, over the last 6 months, many things have changed. Right? The state of the world has changed. Billions and billions and billions, infinite amounts of decisions have been made, which have created infinite amounts of things. And so the trajectory that you were on 6 months ago may or may not still be aligned with the trajectory that you are now meant to walk on. That's this week. That's this sandwich between two eclipses, is this time warp. Take a pause, time out, right? We're in time out. And it's a time out to literally go sit with like your Akashic record keepers. This is how this is kind of. It's a way of talking about it. It's a time out. You go sit with your, this is a great meditation, by the way, this week. You go sit with your Akashic record keepers and you go, okay, let's look. I was doing this, and this. I was on a trajectory for this, and this. And you want to look at all areas of life. You want to look at relationship, you want to look at career, you want to look at health, you want to look at home, you want to look at family, you want to look at work in the world, all areas of life. And you kind of sit down and you go, okay, it is all up in the air. This is eclipse season. This is why they get intense and wild, and we sometimes feel like we're in a washing machine. All things are up in the air. Now, I don't know if that work trajectory is now valid. This is really and truly how eclipse seasons are. I don't know if that relationship trajectory that was true previously is still valid. I may have evolved so much in the last 6 months that old trajectory is no longer. That old trajectory doesn't fit. It's not as aligned as I could be living my life. Right, that's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. You may want to watch that little section over again. Feel into what journal prompts would work for you. Feel into what practices would work for you. Really, really, really powerful to give ourselves what we need to kind of take this time out. Like, how do you put yourself in time out? And what do you do in timeout to be able to throw everything up in the air and then see what comes back? So this is also a moment, because that was a full moon that just happened on the 7th, where it's culmination, completion. It's the perfect time to throw everything up in the air. Really and truly, throw everything up in the air with this intention of, I'm going to live my wildest, most alive and aligned life possible. And I'm going to throw it all up in the air. I'm going to hold this intention that which is in alignment with my highest path forward, it's going to fall. It's going to come back down. It's going to land, but there may be, most likely, there will be some things that disperse, that have completed, that are done. Okay, that's one of the themes to really feel into this week. Let me see if there's another theme that I want to share with us this week. I'm going to reiterate this a little bit more, but I'm going to call this a second theme. We're in the shedding phase of this eclipse. We're headed in the dark moon phase. We just had the peak, the brightest, the full moon just happened. Now we're in the shedding. So you can feel into these next 2 weeks until that eclipse happening on the 21st, that new moon eclipse. This is the shedding. This is the great shedding of 2025, and really feel into that for yourself. And it's not just shedding things in our physical world, like job, relationship. It's also shedding aspects of self. This could be a really good place to meditate on. Shedding aspects of self. What parts of me are dead? What parts of me are falling away? What parts of me no longer fit? What roles? This is a good question to ask yourself. What roles am I playing that no longer fit? That's a really great question to ask. So this shedding of people, places, things, but also aspects of self, belief systems, paradigms, reality, structures that we've been living in. The great shedding is a really powerful thing to feel into, and to do some practice around or meditate around, however you feel supported around that. I'm going to share this final, maybe 2 more, but let's go 2 more. For this themes, and then we'll get into day by day. So this next theme that I want to share is this is a time where it can be very powerful, very supportive for us to lean into wisdom keepers, whatever that is for you, the wisdom keepers, the wise ones. This may be wisdom keepers in human form, spirit form, guide, guardian form. The veils are very thin. This is a week in between these 2 eclipses where the mystical laws, the mystical laws are louder. This is part of the magic of eclipse seasons. The mystical divine law is louder than human law. Human law, social laws, and social norms. Mystic divine law. And so feeling into that for yourself, are there wisdom keepers? Are there wisdom schools? Are there wisdom mystery keepers, mystery schools, mystery journeys that you're called to during this moment in time? The mysteries are so accessible right now. They are so wildly, profoundly, beautifully accessible right now in between these 2 eclipses. Feel into trusting that wise self within, that soul self. Wise self gets loud during these eclipses. So make some space, listen to wise self. You can feel into like that. I sometimes like to say like the medicine woman or the medicine man in you, like that wisdom elder in you. What am I drawn to in this potent time between these 2 eclipses? What program, what group, what book, podcast, meditation, practice, place, journey am I drawn to? And trust it. And trust it. This is a week of acting on the intuitive hits that we get, the guidance and the intuitive hits that we get. It's a week of making space for the intuition to come in and the guidance to come in, and acting on it. We hear it, we move on it. We see it, we speak it, right? It's a week of grounding it in, anchoring it in, bringing it into reality. On Monday, the moon, we'll talk about this in a minute, The moon goes over Saturn, the reality keeper. And the moon was obviously just part of the eclipse on Sunday, right? It takes the moon and the sun to do the eclipse thing. And so on Monday, right away, Saturn, moon's on Saturn, bring it in, ground it in, make it happen. You got an insight, bring it in, make it happen. The whole week, we're going to want to be doing things like that. Let me feel. There was one other one that I wanted. This is the one that I wanted to share, and I'll end on this theme, and then we'll dive into day by day. I'm looking at my notes and I'm giggling because it says clean shit up. That's literally what my notes say, clean shit up. This is a week of cleaning shit up. You got to clean it up. Clean it up. Whatever that means for you, clean it up. Karmically clean it up, cut the cords, clean it up in your physical space. Energetics follow physical space. So it could be clean up your inbox, clean up your phone that's full of stuff, clean up your home, clean up your mind, clean up your energy field. It's a week of cleaning up, clean up. It's also a week of, I said I was going to do this. I'm actually going to do it now. It's a week of the things that we said we were going to do or the things that we know we need to do, we do it. We want to create the space. We don't want these energetic leaks to continue through the whole of eclipse season. We want to clean them up before we get to that new moon eclipse on the 21st. So it's a week of cleaning things up. Meditate on that, feel into that, deepen into that, go into dream world with that. What is it that I need to clean up? Oh, I got to have this conversation. Oh, I got to close this thing. Oh, I got to keep good on that promise that I made. Ooh, I gotta, whatever that is for you. That could be really, really powerful also. All right, let's get into these day by day, Monday through Sunday. First, I want to tell you that we have a bunch of eclipse specials that are happening only until the 21st, and they're curated rewilding programs to perfectly align with the energetics of this eclipse. We go through, we have thousands and thousands of hours of programs at this point. We go through everything that we have and we go, this, and this are exactly what supports this eclipse season. There's 3 online programs. There's 2 in-person programs. If you're not in Australia, you're probably not going to come to them. But just in case, you may want to. I think the first one will have already happened by the time you see this, but that's something. If you're feeling like, whoa, I can feel the juice and I can feel that there's more here in the eclipse, but I don't necessarily know how to attune to it. I don't know how to get the most out of this eclipse. And if you are brand new, I would start with bones. And I would start with our September 1st workshop inside of membership. That is the first place that I would start, and just go check it out. It's $59 for a month. Stay if you love it. No stress if you don't. There's over 8 hours of things that totally support this eclipse. But I would start with the September 1st workshop that I just did live on September 1st, obviously. And it is so perfectly attuned to this eclipse. It brings you into alignment with the exact energies of this week and of this eclipse season so that you can get everything that there is to get out of this, the clarity, the releasing of the karma, the opening up to more dharma, the realizing and embodying, expressing more of the sacred gifts that you're meant to, that come out of your south node, aligning with your north node, how it is that you're meant to express them in this life. We do that through this. It's fun. We walk the yellow brick road, but it's your yellow brick road. You walk the yellow brick road of your greatest becoming. It's beautiful. All right, so that's there. You can find the details of that below. All right, let's do this day by day. So Monday the 8th, I might need to shift things around a little bit here so I can see my notes. So this is the day that I already spoke a little bit about, with the moon joining up with Saturn. Saturn is he who holds the unseen and the seen, he who holds the doorway between the unseen and the seen. You could call him the great manifester. Saturn's a great manifester. He's who wants to bring it into reality, the physical. He wants to ground it in. He wants to make it so that you are living it, experiencing it, becoming it. And so we really want to give ourselves space on Monday to, well, one, be with eclipse energy. It's still totally full on. That full moon eclipse that just happened, it's totally full on. I did an eclipse special as a podcast episode. What you could do on Monday to support yourself in a real deep, powerful way is go and listen to the first portion, which is on the September 7th. There's a second portion that goes in the September 21st eclipse. I would actually watch the whole thing because it talks about this 2-week window that we're in and gives more practices on how to work with it. If that syncs, you'll find the details below and above, but that would be a great video to go watch next. Okay, so on Monday, it's really just allowing more time and more space for all of that eclipse energy. That it was a full moon eclipse in Pisces. It was square to Shiva. So it's bringing our consciousness to exactly where it is that serves for us to walk our true north path, right? What is it that is drawing your focus? Where is your focus wanting to go? Because we could focus on a billion different things, and where focus goes, energy flows, right? Where we bring our attention is where we'll end up creating. And so this is a real powerful moment in time to align your focus with highest path forward. Highest path forward. And I won't go into more around the eclipse. You can go watch the eclipse special and just dive into all the other different aspects around it. But on Monday, that's a really powerful way. And you want to also think on Monday of integrating. Saturn's really good at integrating. Let me integrate this into your cells. And what you're integrating into your cells would be you're integrating the change. You're integrating eclipse life trajectory shifts, even if you don't know what they are. It's like, I am grounding in a new life path that is in total alignment with my soul. I'm grounding in, I'm anchoring in, I'm integrating in the things that I'm releasing and the things that I'm drawing in this eclipse season. We do that in Bones. That's that workshop that I said that we did on September 1st, walking the yellow brick road. We do that practice. So if you're like, I don't know, I would love a guided practice, or I want to just try something new, that's there. Okay, so that's Monday. So let's move on to Tuesday. Remember, we're in this very fated time. So everything that's happening this week, it's like amplifying the fates. It's the fates are talking to us. The fates are moving us. And it's more significant this week, more significant to your destiny, more significant to your karma and your dharma this week. So let's move into Tuesday with that in mind. Venus squares the black moon. All right, what does this mean? Okay, so this is a very fated time. Venus is your feminine. It's your feminine values, you could say. It's your relationship, the flow of love, creativity. Venus is goddess of beauty, love. And so she is square black moon. Black moon is the deep sacred feminine. Black moon is the conglomerate of the hidden mysteries of the feminine. A square is like a rub. Squares they make things happen. So it's almost like, and eclipses are hiding and revealing. It's very strange how they not only like bend time and warp time, how I showed that before, but they like unveil and then they veil and then they unveil and they veil. So this is interesting around these deep hidden feminine mysteries squaring Venus. So it's like this unveiling of your own deep sacred feminine mysteries, this unveiling, this illuminating of your deep sacred feminine mysteries to do with your destiny. What does this mean, Sabrina? All right, we can think about things like you are right on time to reclaim this aspect of your feminine. We all have a feminine. You are right on time to reclaim your wild woman, your witch, your sorceress, your creatrix, your fill in the blank. This is a really great practice. I'm right on time to reclaim my sex witch. I'm right on time to reclaim the mother in me. I'm right on time to reclaim what? What aspect of you are you right on time to reclaim? That's a very powerful practice on Tuesday. Something else that we could do on Tuesday is stop thinking. When the feminine gets involved, it's more being. It's more breath, movement, sound. Something really powerful that could happen is work with raw energy, raw Shakti on Tuesday. This is just Shakti's getting involved. And she's like, you don't need to think about this so much. Just move me. Like, move me through your body. Move the wisdom that's wanting to rise in you. And it being fated. It's fated. The black moon. This is the same deep, sacred, feminine mysteries we're talking about. Black moon trine sextile the nodes of fate. In that eclipse, in this eclipse, trine sextile the nodes of fate. Trine and sextile the nodes of fate. She's saying, breathe me, move me, sound me, open me. There's more feminine mystery to you. There's more feminine wisdom to you. What are the feminine wisdom codes that you have yet to remember? What are the wild woman aspects of self you have yet to embody and express through you? And stop thinking about it. That's her. Stop thinking about it. So it's like, I'm not in the mind. I'm not in linear left brain logical thinking. I'm not. Dance me, move me, breathe me, make love with me. You know, that's her. Paint me, draw me, be creative with me. Let this energy move through your body. How does she want to move you? And that in itself, without thinking, without getting the mind involved, can be the most alchemical thing that you could do this entire eclipse season. Could be the most life-transforming thing that you could do this eclipse season. If you don't have a practice for this, go do body wisdom activation. Go do body wisdom activation. It is a really, really good beginning point on how to access Shakti, how to move this feminine wisdom, sacred energy through your body. So if you don't have anything, your own practices, or you've never done anything like this, go do body wisdom activation. You're literally activating Shakti. You're literally, and I give you all the practices to open up to this. And if you do this on Tuesday, the whole week is going to be great for it. But on Tuesday, you specifically get the energetics of Venus, and you get the energetics of that deep, sacred feminine wisdom that's wanting to rise. You can hold that as an intention when you go through that workshop. It's a $47 workshop. It's really, really great beginning point. It's also a really good refresher for those of us who've maybe been in Shakti practices and feminine-based body practices for a long time, and can also just deepen you into, because it rises up to meet you exactly where you're at and take you exactly where you're meant to go. Kind of makes me want to do it. Like, I could use a little bit of a touch-in. All right. Let's move on to Wednesday. So Wednesday, the 10th now, we're back on these nodes of fate. Nodes of fate, that's what's lit up during an eclipse season. This is that 2-week hot zone. Everything that happens here is really, really, really fated. It's really, really, really destined. The sun is conjunct the south node on the 10th. The sun conjunct the south node. Okay, sun, that's conscious self. That's a part of self that we're very aware of. It's very easily accessible. It's also shining a light. It's opening something up. The light shines on this and reveals things. And it's the south node. So what is this territory that we're able to be conscious of, that is being revealed, that the sun is shining a light on? Your south node territory, let me feel for how we can talk about this. Your south node territory holds your karmic record keepers. It's your karmic record keepers. It's like on Wednesday, you walk into the Akashic record library. You walk in the library, it's got all of your Akashic records in it. all of your Akashic records in. This could be a really good meditation to do, visualization. You walk in there, you speak to the wisdom keepers, you speak to the fates when you get into there, and you say, what is the book that is ready to fall off the shelf for me today? In this eclipse, in this very fated, destined time, what is it that I am meant to see about my path? What is it that I am meant to know, to remember? The South Node is about, I'm going to say a couple of funny things. It is about karmic reclamation. It's a karmic reckoning. That's the South Node. It's a karmic reckoning. Like, what is it that I'm karmically reckoning today? What is it that I'm reclaiming and remembering and drawing up from my past lifelines? Past lifelines, South Node also includes ancestral lines. It also includes cosmic lives. It also includes, some of us don't talk about this in a linear way. We talk about it, simultaneous lives that are going on. Simultaneous lives that are going on. And it's this whole record, right, of simultaneously lives happening all at the same time, ancestral lines, this huge lineage that sits there. So there's this huge well of wisdom, this huge well of sacred gifts, this huge well of also what it is that you're meant to karmically complete. And again, remember, we just had that full moon. We're in the shedding phase. We are in the karmic completion phase. So this could be meditations around, what am I drawing up from this library, this Akashic records? What am I drawing up to remember, to reclaim? It could also be, what is my karmic completion? What am I karmically completing? It's a wrap, and it's a wrap. And we're good. We're now moving on. This karma has been completed, and we're now moving on. So that's on Wednesday. I love that. It gets better. This is so good. So good. So all of that energy that I just spoke about with the sun conjunct the South Node on Wednesday. On Thursday, Mercury now conjuncts the South Node. Okay, all that South Node that we just talked about. And I spoke about the sun as being the energy that illuminates. The sun reveals. It helps to make things conscious. Mercury helps to translate it. Helps to translate. Helps us to communicate it. Helps us to bring it into thought, into words, into what does this mean? So good. So on Thursday, it's what does this mean? It's not, where Tuesday was like, dance it, move it. It's don't think about it. Wednesday and Thursday are think about it. Now you've moved the energy. You've opened the door. You brought the Shakti through, reclaim the feminine and all the wisdom. Because of course on Tuesday, remember, Black Moon's trine the nodes of fate. So this is all so fated. It all has to do with these north nodes, these south nodes. It all has to do with this reclamation, your soul path. And so on Thursday, it's a day to make the space to translate it and hold yourself to the fire as an invitation. You do whatever you want to do, of course, but an invitation to hold ourselves to the fire of, I know more than I think I know. I see more than I think I see. Let me translate this. I know what my next step is. I know what's karmically completed. And it's powerful because Black Moon, that dark goddess energy, she'll hold us to it. She's still dancing with the nodes of fate. She's dancing with the nodes of fate all week. Shiva's also still squaring the nodes of fate all week. Shiva, that's consciousness. We are going to be able, but we have to make the space for it. We have to be also courageous, because some of the things that we've karmically completed, we are not going to want them to be done because they feel safe and secure to us. They are known things, and we're going to want to cling on to them. Let me say this again, because this is very much worth repeating. Courage. Courage to see what's done. Courage to see what we're letting go of. Courage to step into the unknown. Courage to allow the shedding, the releasing to happen. Courage to see it, to know it, and to act on it. So powerful. Again, if you want some supports in this, go do that September workshop, the Walking the Yellow Brick Road workshop. It's so good. And it will hold you the whole month through all of this eclipse energy. All right. So let's move on to Friday the 12th. The sun now, and this gets even more interesting because we just talked about the sun was conjunct the south node, right? And then we talked about Mercury is conjunct the south node. Now, on the 12th Friday, hold on a second. I want to make sure I get this right. Yeah. This is right. So on the 12th, the sun is now sextile Jupiter. Like they perfect. So the sun is perfecting Jupiter. And then Mercury sextiles Jupiter. So the sun sextiles Jupiter, Mercury sextiles Jupiter. But remember, Mercury and the sun, they were just conjunct the nodes of fate. So they were illuminating your destined path, illuminating that, which is what eclipse season is all about. That was the sun illuminating, shining a light, revealing things. Mercury giving you the capacity to translate it into words, into actions, into thought, path forward. Now Jupiter being in the mix, Jupiter makes it bigger. You think bigger. You can think bigger. You can see bigger. You can move into a reality that you didn't know was possible. You can move into a trajectory of life that you thought was too good to be true. This is what it's opening up and asking for. It's asking us to break outside of the box, to really let the miraculous in. This is Jupiter, a grace bomb. It is a grace bomb. And Jupiter's saying, no small thinking here. No previous beliefs of what you thought was possible. Your destiny is far greater and far bigger. There can be much more ease and there could be much more grace in your path forward. Stay open-minded, keep thinking big, call in the grace, limitless potential, unlimited possibilities, limitless potential. Y'all, this is just too good. Everyone has been saying, can we get a little bit of good news in the astrology, please, Sabrina? This is it. This is it. It's like this week is it. It's just going to take some attune. Let me get some good words for us here. We got to say yes. We've got to say yes. And it's about attuning to these energies, these sacred energies that are available. It's attuning to them. It's getting in that river of life. It's letting ourselves be moved by something greater than our previous belief systems, than our little selves. It's letting ourselves be moved by what it is that this eclipse really wants to open up for us and propel us into, being moved by it. So it's attuning to and then receiving. You know, it's not just I'm going to do a meditation on the eclipse. It's also opening up our hearts to receive the grace and the good fortune that's there, because it's there. It's there, but we might not see it if we're not in a state of being able to receive. All right. Both of those journeys that I mentioned can help to move us into a state of receiving. Both the body wisdom activation, that moves us into this feminine state of receiving, like open, the whole body becomes open to receiving grace, receiving the goodness that's available here. And then also that journey that we do on September, that walking, I'm just going to call it walking the yellow brick road. That will also opens us to that also. Okay, so that's on Friday. Now on Saturday, it's more of this. So Saturday, the sun, which we've spoken about, comes into a cazimi with Mercury. So this is where the sun and Mercury meet up. The illuminator, the sun, I bring things to consciousness. And Mercury, the mind, the translator, messenger of the gods. So I'm bringing the fates to consciousness as the sun. I'm translating what the fates have brought into consciousness. I'm translating that into direction forward. I'm translating that into words. I'm translating that into actions. I'm translating that into tangible, physical, real world guidance forward. And that guidance forward, remember, we're still in a shedding phase of this eclipse. We just had the full moon. We're in a dark moon phase. So some of that guidance for the path forward will be letting go, closing the karmic loops, closing the door, ending the things. Remember, I said clean up your shit. It'll be some of that. Some of it will be steps forward into opportunities, for sure. It's both and. Both are happening simultaneously. So just because we're in a shedding phase does not mean that doors won't be opening. Time is bending, and it is a huge duality that's going on. I talk about that duality more in the Eclipse special podcast episode. And I talk about this time bending piece more in that Eclipse episode and how to work with it and align with it. So again, that's the great next podcast to go watch. Is to just go dive into the Eclipse specials. All right, so that's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, this perfects on Monday, but I'm going to talk about it because the energies are very much at play. Venus, we spoke about Venus when we were talking about the feminine, the creative, the lover aspect of self. And remember, she was square the black moon. Now she's in a sextile to her consort, Mars. So Venus, lover goddess, sextile, good flowing energy with her masculine warrior counterpart. This is like love making goodness. This is where your feminine is in a great flow with your masculine. This is where if you're in a masculine feminine relationship, right? You're dancing well. The energy's dancing well. Maybe you're the masculine and your partner is more the feminine energy and you're flowing and you're dancing well. It's glorious, right? Glorious energy. So union practices, sacred union practices, exploring Tantric and what are the mysteries in Tantra. Remember, I said go to mystery schools and wisdom keepers. Like the Tantric mysteries are really coming alive on Sunday. Our Dragon Mystery School is all about these tantric mysteries. It's all about the threefold path, the masculine, the feminine, and then the third path is that union and what happens there. So if you're feeling like, gosh, I'm really called to sacred union, I'm really called to what are these tantric mysteries? What is here? This will sound strange. Not really. It might not sound strange to you at all, but how do I open up to my alchemy capacities via a union path? It's alchemy. It's sheer alchemy. It's sheer, and that opens you to alchemy. You become an alchemist. You're able to turn lead to gold. You're able to manifest. You're able to make things happen very powerfully in this world. You open up the two key ingredients to making things happen in this world, your consciousness and your life force, and they turn on and they start to operate really well together. Consciousness would be Mars in this case. Life force would be Venus in this case. And when they're really dancing, this is one of the mysteries in Tantra, many, 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 many mysteries there. But when they're really operating together, you actually tap into the alchemy that we're all able to tap into that and wield the alchemist's powers, as well as creation powers, creating with creation. You become the co-creator with creation and tapping into that more and more. So that's Dragon Mystery School. That's part of our Eclipse specials. It's actually over 50% off. That's a very big deep dive, but it's under $1,000 for a 3-month mystery school. That program was originally $3,000 when we originally created it, which was about 2 years ago, something like that. Okay, so that happens, and then we'll talk about this in next week's episode. So if you haven't subscribed and you don't want to miss something coming up, make sure you subscribe, maybe hit the notification bell, maybe leave a comment below. I love being with you all. But next week, we'll talk about this on Monday, is Venus and Mars in the sextile. They're opposing Chiron wounded healer, shamanic initiator, and heiress. Truth warrior. What does that mean? We'll explore that in next week's episode. In the meantime, go watch that eclipse special. It will give you more practices. It will really tell you more about this window of time in between these two eclipses. Take advantage of this, right? Like eclipses, yes, they come around every 6 months, but there is not going to be another eclipse in 2025. And we all know 2025 is this massive evolution of consciousness. It is this massive evolution. We are rapidly evolving, new earth, new human, all of that's happening. I just did an episode called First Wave. Are you in the first wave? Are you in the first wave of this 2025-2026 transmutation that's happening in humans? If you haven't seen that, that could be another episode to go watch too. I had a lot of fun with that one. I love it. And it kind of went a little bit viral. Like, I don't know. It was, a little bit unexpected, but really beautiful. So I think it struck a chord with quite a few people. And it might strike a chord for you and bring you something too. All right. I love you. Have an amazing eclipse, and I will see you when I see you, where I see you, and how I see you.